Welcome back to Otaku, the very best in low-cost cosplay and props. This is how I made his hero costume and the ice and the fire props. Okay, so I just finished editing this video and it's a lot longer than I want it to be, so I'm going to be splitting it into two parts. Sorry, I know this is a little inconvenient, but it's just the way it's going to have to go down. So part 1 is going to be over the fire and the ice gauntlets, and part 2 is going to be over his hero costume. Okay, so for the arm frame, all you're going to need is a bunch of hangers. These are wire hangers I got out of the trash. These are plier clippers, bendy things, also clippers, more pinchers, and needle nose clippers. I am not Bob the Builder. I do not know what these things are called. I'm also using little bits of really thin wire, as well as a hot glue gun. To separate the hanger pieces, it's just easiest to bend them around the head, and you take it apart like that. I found this makes a very good grip. So what you do is you just bend it around your arm. Okay, here we have the frame. As you see, my arm goes in. And this is the grip piece. And I'm going to be building just a little bit of the frame off of it. The ice piece has a lot more frame because it's a lot more visible. This one doesn't need a whole lot of framework because it's going to be covered in the fake fire that I made. I'm just going to be putting this on, hot gluing. What I like to do is I wire the intersections of where they meet, and then I hot glue over it. Okay, real quick, one thing I forgot to mention is how to separate the pieces, because you don't want one long piece for every single one. So take the pinchers that are really pointy, and you want to take them in and go like that. Bam! Snip, snip. And now you have 3 smaller pieces instead of one big long one. So yeah, that's how this one works. Okay, so when we come to an intersection right here, I'm going to take some wire. You don't need a whole lot. You're going to use the same way to snip it. You snip it real easily. And then you're just going to thread it through, and then twist it around just to really get it to hold in place. So kind of just get it as secure as possible. It doesn't have to look nice because you're going to hot glue over it and paint it and cover it in other stuff. So as long as it's being held steady, that's all that really matters. Okay, so here I have just some of the wire wrapped around. All I'm going to do is carefully hot glue it. And here we have the fire. I did not show myself putting all the fire pieces together because I actually do that in another video. Go check it out. Basically, it's all made of fabric. And then I use the wire, the same wiring I put in the inside. This wire is holding it down. What I did is I just got all the little fabric pieces together, get a little wire in there, and then I just find a spot that needs it. I take the wire, just kind of wrap it around, almost like a twist tie, like on sandwich bread. And you just want to go in and wrap it, and then to get more of effect, you kind of squish them together. Okay, as you can see, I wrapped around the edges with just more of the red fabric-y bit, the tulle, around the exposed white metal hanger because I just didn't like the way it stood out. I definitely recommend painting it red, maybe a little yellow and orange in there. That'd be really cool. Shout out to my roomie who was like, hey, you know, you got that exposed and you got all this left over, why don't you just wrap it around? Mind blown. Thank you, roomie. You are the bomb. See, anyone can cosplay, even you, roomie. And it just fits on just like the ice. So yeah, here's the firearm. Have the grip. You can kind of slide your hand in a little bit more if you want, or maybe have it out like this. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. But yeah, just fluff it up as needed. And one thing that's great about being in there by wiring, if there's a piece you don't like, it's actually really easy to just like tear it out or cut it out. Okay, so here is my ice frame. It has been plasti dipped and painted and glued, so it goes on like so. Same grip like the fire one, which is not complete. I have 3 different types of plastics, and I also have saran wrap, but this is the main plastic I'll be using. It is like when you get like a device and it's got like a screen, stuff you peel off, that is what this is. So I got all this plastic from a friend of mine who works at a tech support area. They were getting rid of it, and I asked if I could have it, and I got a whole box, a whole bunch of it. Good looking fine. I have more types of plastic. I also have saran wrap. I'm going to be putting it on and then hot gluing it just so it stays in place, and later on I'm going to paint it, get some more, but I wanted it to be clear so that you could kind of see more of the ice, give it a very ice effect. Make it real nice. Okay, so as you can see, it is now fully encased in plastic except for like a little armhole over here. It goes on like this. Yeah, I'm just going to glue down a couple little spots, and then I'm going to start painting. So the arm is done being wrapped in plastic. Thank you, Thomas, who sorted out the plastic for me. So I got all of it. And then I have these little plastic layers. Thank you, Daniel, Mr. Jason, and Newt, for giving me all this plastic. It's wonderful. But yeah, the frame is now wrapped in plastic, and I'm going to go outside and paint it. I got different shades of blue right here. And I also had this real neat frosted look. So that should be fun. Never tried that before. Okay, so for the final coat, all I did was wrap it around with plastic wrap. Good old saran wrap, plastic wrap, whatever. I went around it a couple times, very carefully holding my arm around it as I went around. I took white spray paint, kind of dusted it, flecked it, just trying to get that kind of like as much of an ice look as possible. And I went over it one more time, did the saran wrap, did the dusting, and then one more time with the plastic wrap. That way none of the paint is like flaking off. And I think it looks really cool. I really like the way it turned out. Kind of see inside. It just goes on. You just hold it with you put the grip, and then you have it. It's very lightweight, so it's great for cons. It's mostly durable. Like if you drop it, it's gonna be okay. You pack it up and it gets like under some stuff, it's gonna be okay. It's not like full on fighting it, obviously. I wouldn't LARP with it on. Pretty much cost me nothing to make. That's the ice. Okay, so remember, this is part 1. There are going to be 2 parts. Next part, I'm going to be covering his hero costume and how I made all that. So stick around, it'll be out a week or so after this one.